He was the greatest archer alive. He could split an arrow at 1,000 paces. Kings feared him. Even Arjuna, the celebrated hero of the Mahabharata, knew in his bones that Karna was his equal, perhaps more. And yet Karna spent his entire life being told he didn't belong. Not in the tournament hall, not in the royal court, not even for most of his life in his own family. This is the story of Karna, born of the sun, raised in the dust, and destroyed not by any enemy's weapon, but by the weight of loyalty in a world that never gave him a fair chance. The Mahabharata is the longest poem ever written, 10 times the length of the Iliad and Odyssey combined. At its heart is a war between two families, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, for the throne of Hastinapura. The Pandavas are the heroes. Arjuna, their greatest warrior, is guided by Krishna himself. But on the other side stands a man who should have been a Pandava, Karna, the firstborn son of Kunti, the Pandava mother, born before her marriage in secret to the sun god Surya, set adrift on a river to hide her shame, raised by a charioteer and his wife. This origin, humble, hidden, and beautiful, becomes both Karna's greatest strength and the wound that never heals. Karna grew up with a fire inside him. He trained harder than anyone. He studied under Dronacharya, the great teacher, concealing his lineage. When Dronacharya refused to teach him the most advanced techniques, reserved only for royals, Karna walked away and sought out Parashurama, the warrior sage who taught only Brahmins. So Karna lied. He presented himself as a Brahmin and earned Parashurama's trust and the full depth of his knowledge, including the use of the Brahmastra, a divine weapon of absolute destruction. But deceit in the Mahabharata always finds its mirror. One afternoon, Parashurama was resting with his head in Karna's lap. A vicious worm burrowed into Karna's thigh, drawing blood. Karna didn't move. He didn't flinch. He sat perfectly still, bleeding rather than disturb his teacher's rest. Parashurama woke in the blood. He looked at Karna and knew. No Brahmin can bear this much pain without sound, he said. Only a Kshatriya warrior could endure this. You deceived me. And so the curse came. The knowledge I gave you will desert you at the moment you need it most. It was a moment of extraordinary devotion, punished as betrayal. That is the complexity of Karna's life. His greatest qualities kept leading him to ruin. At the famous tournament of Hastinapura, Karna entered the arena and matched Arjuna arrow for arrow. The crowd roared. Here was a warrior worthy of the age. Then Kripacharya raised his hand. By tradition, only royals could compete. What kingdom does this man represent? Silence. Karna had none. He was a charioteer's son. The crowd jeered. Arjuna's brothers laughed. In that moment, it was Duryodhana, the Mahabharata's so-called villain, who walked forward and crowned Karna the king of Anga on the spot, giving him the royal title that allowed him to compete. Karna never forgot it. When the war came, and Krishna himself visited Karna to reveal the truth of his birth, "You are the eldest Pandava, Karna. Fight with your brothers. The throne will be yours." Karna refused. He chose Duryodhana, not out of blindness, but out of something rarer. Gratitude. "He gave me dignity when I had nothing," Karna said. "How can I abandon him now that he needs me?" Even his mother, Kunti, came to him then, weeping, begging him to join the Pandavas. He embraced her, the mother who had abandoned him, with no bitterness. "You come now," he said softly. "I will give you what you ask. I will not kill any Pandava except Arjuna. If I die, you will still have 5 sons. You will always have 5 sons." He kept that promise. Through the entire war, he held back, and then, on the 17th day of battle, his chariot wheel sank into the ground. Defenseless, he called on the Brahmastra, and the knowledge abandoned him, just as Parashurama had cursed. Arjuna's arrow found him, not because Arjuna was greater, but because the world had stacked its weight against Karna from his very first breath, and the weight finally won. The Mahabharata doesn't call Karna a villain. It doesn't even call him a tragic hero in the comfortable sense. It calls him a mirror, because we all know someone like Karna, someone whose talent went unseen, whose loyalty was mistaken for weakness, who was punished for circumstances they didn't choose. The question the Mahabharata asks through Karna isn't, why did he lose? It's, what does it cost a person to remain loyal and generous in a world that was never fair to them? That question is as old as humanity, and it has no easy answer, which is why Karna's story has been told and retold and wept over for 3,000 years. If Karna's story moved you, I'd love to know. Do you think he made the right choice, staying loyal to Duryodhana? Leave your answer in the comments. I read everyone. Next week, we go to one of the most haunting moments in the Ramayana, the night Sita was taken. The story behind that abduction is more complicated, more heartbreaking, and more philosophical than most people realize. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you know someone who would love these stories, share it with them. These tales deserve to be heard.